Okay, hopefully third time's the charm here, and we don't run into that issue again. That was weird. Okay, let's see. I think we're good now. I think we're good. Okay. I don't touch OBS. I just let it go. I just let it do its thing. It's becoming more and more apparent that I need a new computer. I try to put that off as long as possible. Okay. Perfect. I gotta fix my audio in live. And we should be good. God, that's so annoying. Alright, we only lost 2/3 of the viewers. We're good now, though. There we go. Alright. Tell me you guys can hear this. Wait, I can't even freaking hear it. Hold on. What a nightmare. Audio hijack. There we go. Okay. Okay. Back to this. Crackling is kind of unavoidable for his stuff because I always peak my CPU usage when I play his music. So that's, unfortunately, I can't really help with that. All right, so we're going to try to fix the small things I had, the issues with this one. Before that major crash and annoying technical problems, I basically turned this way down with a utility, and you can tell at lower volumes, it's easier to tell what elements are way too loud. And I deduced that the pluck lead thing is like extremely loud. And that was this guy. So we're going to turn that down a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean like 4.5 decibels at least. Into the lead, or into the background a little bit more, which is what I wanted to do. It was a little bit too jarring up in the front. Let's try to listen to it in the beginning. My might be able to correct that click a little bit if I increase my my sample rate here to like 256. See if that helps. And I definitely don't want it at 4,800, but or 4,800, but 48K. What am I saying? But I can't change it because I'd have to restart my computer, and I'm not even gonna think about doing that. So we're gonna play it at a lower buffer or a slower buffer rate. Mic's up. See, now that lead is turned down a lot, I think it fits so much better into the mix. And that's like one of the only major changes I would make to the song. You can probably turn the kick up maybe like 2 decibels or something. Very, very subtle difference, just to give it a little bit more strength. And yeah, next time I might just frickin' bite the bullet and build a Hackintosh or something, because I'm so sick of this computer, and it's driving me nuts. So it's probably by the next stream I might actually have a new computer. This is ridiculous. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's probably much louder. Here. When I had to restart again, it made me redo my my settings in OBS. So like my desktop audio and stuff shifted. There's also another element on this. It's like a little beep, like a doop, doop, doop. And I think I'm gonna try to find that and turn it down a little bit. I think it's a little bit too much. This one I want to actually turn up. I want to, that little beepy one, I'm gonna turn down. It's that one. So I'm going to turn that one down maybe like 3 decibels, and then we're going to try to turn this one up just a little bit, maybe like 1.5 decibels. It's like -5. Yeah. So that our main pluck is then the main pluck, and then we have this one as like a supporting. Because in my eyes, this element right here should be the focus of the song. And this should be like in the background, supporting. And then that lead should be like a counter melody in the background. It shouldn't be like the forefront of the song. You want to have that main element in the middle or in the mids like this guy to really carry the energy of the song. So I'm trying to bring that out and push this back, because that just feels like a rhythmic element. And then our main lead we want to push back a little bit too and make it more of like a counter melody. Think like those little shimmery sounds at the end of every bar in like the Veldt. That's what I'm trying to accomplish with this. So maybe we can like add even a little bit of like delay. You already have some delay. I'm gonna increase the dry wet a little bit and give you a little bit more top end on that. Then I'm going to exaggerate your compressor a little bit more to bring out some of the small nuances of the reverb and the delay. Sadowik did a great video on this recently called Reverb Augmentation, and it's been something I've been doing for years to actually add effects after your reverb chain to catch some of the nuances and make it a little bit more interesting than just a straight reverb. And we're doing that with a compressor and EQ here, well, at least Tidris is, and I love it. Compressed reverb sounds great to me. Let's see how this sounds. That's what I'm going for, and then I want to add a little bit of shimmer in the top. Down just a little bit. Let's see how that sounds with the mix. And I'm actually going to sidechain that a little bit heavier to your kick drum. I think that's going to make this fit into the mix a little bit more. Where is your kick? There it is. Because right now it feels like it's floating on top and it doesn't feel like it's in the mix. And I think this is going to help. See how ducking that reverb tail under the kick and then doing it subtly enough to where it's like a nuance thing and not like a full-on cut, but having it cut enough to where it's adding a groove can really set it into the mix of the song. So let's give this thing a listen one more time. I'm experimenting with different reverb delay times. I like the 3, but I think it's not working with the rest of your elements. 2 or 4 might fare better in the context of the mix, so try it out. Still think this element's like way too loud compared to everything else. It might also be your processing, like it might be a little bit too compressed. I might dial that back if I were you, make it a little bit less aggressive. It sounds good right now, but yeah, it could be better. So cool. I'm gonna put this on my phone so I can see your chat. I haven't seen the chat for like the past 10 minutes because I'm very like reluctant to put the chat on my TV now because of how bad the the CPU usage is right now. So yeah, great sounding tune, man. It's a freaking banger. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next one, and yeah, we'll do that. This is Ableton Live 10. Now I can see your chat. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and save this. Again, there's really not much of a change, Tidris. This is very good. Your stuff's always very good. The main lead sound design could probably use some work. Make it a little softer. It's a little too aggressive right now. Sounds kind of cheesy to me. The writing is great. Maybe make it like a softer tone, like a sine wave FM or something like that. Very, you know, more remnant of a bell or something like that instead of such a. It sounds very video gamey right now. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and open the second project and the final project of today. Keep in mind that if you're a patron, please watch the Discord chats and the Patreon page for submission portals when I announce these things. I do these every month, and it's generally the first week of the month. I think it's the first week still. Might be the second week now. No, it's still the first week. I generally do them the first week of the month, so maybe set a reminder in your phone to check them out. And yeah, that was Tidris' thing. We only got 2 today because, again, I think it was because of the holidays and nobody was like around to send in project files, but that's quite okay. The 2 we got today is more than enough to work on. The second one is Morgan Page, I Think of You, Mark Eldon remix. Cool. January 9th, still the first week. I think it is, because I don't think the first was on the, like on a Tuesday. I think, oh, no, it is the second week. Okay, fair enough. All right. I might get that new Mac Mini. Or maybe like a 2017 iMac or something, 2016, 2018. Just so tired of this stupid computer giving me issues for this. There shouldn't be any issue. It's just problematic. All right, so this is Morgan Page, I Think of You, Mark Eldon remix. And this is one of our newer patrons, so welcome to the stream. I think this is your first project submission link. Or first project submission for one of these streams. And we're going to just jump right into it and get started and see if we can't fix your project. Let's go. Oh. Okay. That is painful. What kind of I'm gonna make my sample rate crazy high for you. I don't know what you're doing there. That's freaking Neutron. Let me turn this up a little bit. He has Pro L2. I don't have that. I'm going to have to use something in the meantime. I'll just use Pro L1. I had to disable his neutron because it got out of hand. That's really cool, actually, right there. Moses, are you a patron? If you are, please DM me on Patreon, and I'll try to download your project. Why is it doing that? I don't know what's causing that to slow down in that way. I think you have maybe too much reverb. No? Decay amount. Yeah, I need a new computer, guys, if you haven't noticed. I really need to change this to 41.1. But I can't. It won't let me do it. It's quite annoying. I'm thinking maybe if I did... I've done, like, I generally do change it to that. I don't use 48 generally. But, it won't let me do it for some reason now. I think it's locked because of this, maybe. Let me try that. Super annoying. And it crashed again. Wonderful. And we're back to glitchy screen. Okay, I'm gonna put this at the maximum. Okay, let's give this thing a listen. Now no audio. Okay, that has to be on. Okay, so for our snare, I think we can probably shorten that a little bit. It's a little bit too long right now. It feels like very draggy. Like, I'm going to try to shorten that up, and we can do that with the reverb as well. I think what's really killing my CPU is this neutron stuff. That almost always drains my CPU. Yeah, that's much better. It's hard to tell what this sounded like with neutron on it, but I'm going to turn it up right here. That, let's see. And I don't know why you're using LFO tool and the sidechain. That's kind of weird. Oh, you're actually creating that rhythm with LFO tool. Interesting. I like this a lot. Feel like you should have a little bit more top end. I don't know to what extent I can work on this project because of how much CPU bottleneck I'm hitting right now. We're gonna try though. When I think of you, my heart, it tells me to just keep it on the down low and never ever let you know I think of you. I'm afraid that you will turn and walk away. I think of you. Okay, so I'm gonna separate the main lead or the main mid sound here. Let's see. I'm gonna separate these into their own group because these are like a pluck more than a lead or than a bass. And we're gonna put that in its own group. And then we're going to apply a different color. It's good practice that way. And what I'm gonna do is actually rework your LFO tool thing. I'm actually gonna do this in Serum and not use LFO tool for that. You're just going with an 8th note pluck. I don't know why you wouldn't use just like a oh, that's why. So you have another thing going on in here. Okay, that's annoying. I'm gonna grab a filter at the very end and we're going to make this a low pass, like a low 18, and then we're going to make an 8th note pluck here instead of using the one in LFO tool. So where are we here? LFO 2 has to be mapped to filter frequency. I want to make this single pole. And I'm gonna make, God, that's so annoying. Okay, then I'm gonna make that, do this, like to maybe like to that extent right there. I'm going to do that for both of your sounds here, so we don't have to use the LFO tool and we can actually just use the filter. And that way we can control the cutoff of the thing and then make it a little bit more responsive than just volume automation like that. So like, let's do this. Let's call this top. And this is bottom. And make it the 12 so it has a little bit more of a curve. And then we're going to listen to this in the mix now. Okay, that's sounding much better, I think. Let's try putting a compressor on this and sidechaining that to our kick now. Cool. So like this, and this, and this, and then this. And then we have ourselves a nice sidechain. Okay, and I think the issue you're running into here, I see you're trying to turn your kick up a lot, you're turning your kick up all the way, and then your channel is down -9. I don't know why you would do a bus here. I'm just going to split your kick off into its own channel. Then we're going to turn it down to like -3. You want your kick to be extremely strong, and to have it at -9 with the snare is kind of strange choice. I really like this pad. This lead can probably come down just a little bit. And then I'm going to sidechain the entire bus to the kick again. Sounds good. Sounds good. Oh, that sustain is why. You got like a 2-second release on this. I'm gonna mess with this sound just a little bit here. And then I'm gonna put a EQ and then maybe give you some little high boost with that guy. And then cut some of the mud out of that. I want this to be like a kind of floaty pad. Let's get rid of some of the stuff you had on there. Let's get rid of the volume automation so I can turn it up. And let's see that in the mix. And that needs some heavier sidechain for sure. I'm going to close this just a little bit. It's a little too bright. Very cool song. It's got this nice like synth pop vibe to it. Okay. So I think I'm going to call this song complete. There's not much more I can do on this with this CPU issue. Next month I'm going to try to have a new computer. This computer evidently is on its last legs, and it's pretty evident by the stream that you're seeing now. So next month we're going to try to have a new computer and not run into this issue. Okay, so next we have one from Patreon that was just submitted. If my stream unfreezes. Come on. Please don't crash. Okay, thank you. We have an entry from Patreon. Whoa, mouse death. That's my graphics card dying. I'm planning on just financing parts for a new build. This is an old Mac Pro, and I have a gaming PC that I put together, but it's like 2012, so it's like not adequate enough to do this anyway. So there's really no reason for me to upgrade that at all, because then I'd have to get a new processor and motherboard and RAM, and then it's like I'm building a new computer, so then I might as well build a new computer. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to build a new computer so I don't run into this issue anymore. And then next month we're going to have not the CPU problem, bottleneck crap. I might get a Mac, an iMac. Either an iMac or a Mac Mini, the new one. I'm considering building, but I need to have Mac OS. So I could potentially do a Hackintosh, but that's like I used to do Hackintosh back in like 2015, 2014. It's a nightmare. So you get a new computer, I'll get Ableton, we both win. I'm considering building a PC, but I need Mac OS. So I could do a Hackintosh, but then it would negate me having a built PC. I don't play games. My current PC is a 3770 i7, the highest you can get on a 1155 board, and it's already overclocked. Like, there's no pushing it further, and I still run into the same issues. This Mac Pro is like from 2009, and it's running two quad-core Xeons, and they're both for essentially 8 logical cores, and I still run into issues. Like, it's better than my gaming PC. So there's no fixing either computer. I need to just get a new computer with a new architecture. All right, Mark, great tune. I'm going to go ahead and save it and move on to the next one, which is Moses. You got a freaking cool name, Moses. It's called Tokyo STEM something. Don't mind the graphical errors on screen. Up, freeze. Everybody stop the stream. So, if this doesn't unfreeze, I might have to restart the stream again. Okay, there we go. I got to unzip that folder, and then we'll be good to go. Okay. This computer's struggling, man. Okay, and let's give this thing a listen, and we'll take a quick look at this one. My whole computer is dying, and it's really frustrating me. Yeah, his alias is Sapphire, guys. But his real name's Moses, which is sick. Okay, this is the song. It's all stemmed out, so we shouldn't run into any issues. My Ableton, however, is running into issues. It's not moving. What the heck is going on? I'm gonna have to restart Ableton. Hold on. Well, this computer is perfectly fine when I'm not streaming. That's what makes this annoying. Because when I'm not streaming, my projects run fine, and my projects are like much more complicated than most of these. It's only when I'm encoding video, my graphics card has issues, and then I get this little glitch on the screen, and then it crashes every time, and then my CPU overloads every single time. So if I'm going to be streaming, I need to get a new computer. I think I might get an iMac. Like the 5K iMac. Because I wanted a 4K display anyway, and you know that might be the next logical thing. Okay, let's get this thing in play finally, and see where we're at. Oh, I have no audio. Hold on. Okay. Sorry, got it. Lots of potential there. I'm gonna fix some things though, obviously. So the first thing I want to check out is the beginning. We have a lot of level adjustments that need to be made. This track, as far as volume adjustment, is all over the place. Like that white noise, for example, is, I would say, 10 decibels too loud. Yeah. If that, maybe 12. Yeah, okay. The next thing that I wanted to fix was this. This is weird. You have like these 2 extra bars in here that don't need to exist. Like right here. Just do this. Delete time. Yeah. That flows so much better. That weird gap is weird. And in general, just never do that, because when a DJ is playing your song, you don't want to have inconsistent bar counts. You run into problems when you're playing out when doing that. And that fixed it. And you can actually look at the grid here. If we put in like a locator, and then we apply like a bigger grid to this, you have like a big chunk here, big chunk here, big chunk here, big chunk here. These are all, I think, 8 bar counts. This should actually reset right here. And it should not have these extra bars here as well. You should probably remove these and then go right into that. This is just arrangement stuff. The actual writing isn't that bad. I think there's a lot of potential in this section. I'm sorry, in this section. No, where's your drop? Also, this part here should probably be taken up in this spot here. Like, I would probably grab this riser and put it here. And maybe grab anything else that's building up. I think all of this is. Put it here as well. And then essentially just get to the point quicker here. And you don't want to have that excess bar count, again, for the DJ purposes. The idea is really, really cool. You just want to make sure that you're locked into that 32 bar count so that DJs can play it. Like that. So let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a 4, and then there's 4 here now. And this should be 4, etc. You should always have that 4 and 8 count. If you don't, then you run into issues when playing live. See how that like flows better now? Okay, next thing I want to do is turn your kick way up. That should be like the forefront of the song. Maybe like 6 decibels. I'm not overly fond of this kick either. It sounds like the kick 2 default preset. Yeah. Let me dial this in. It's a little bit stronger. It's a little better right there, yeah. What I'm going to do is actually turn everything down just a little bit, maybe like 5 or 6 decibels, just so we have a little bit more headroom to play with. And then we can start turning stuff up. So this guy has volume automation. I'm just going to ditch that. One tip I like to preach is never to actually automate your master volume on your channel here. Use a gain utility for that. If you do it here, then you run into the issue of not being able to edit this on the fly, and then it sort of takes away from your like gut instinct to turn something down, because you realize subconsciously that you have to do this big elaborate pinpoint movement to get a thing to turn down. So never actually automate this. You want this to be as easy to change as possible. So if you have an idea to change your mix, you can do it quickly. You can do the same thing as you automated with this gain utility here and automate this knob. Cool. So pro tip, just don't do that. Your sub is also extremely low. I can't even hear it on my monitors. I don't know if this is necessarily a necessary frequency range to be putting your sub in. But I would definitely add some mid bass. Maybe these are that. Let's see. Yeah. I'm gonna put all of your like main chord elements together. Up here. And then what I'm gonna try is tuning your sub bass up an octave. So what I'm gonna do is grab all of these, and we'll try to do a tones warp, and then we'll take this thing up 12. 12. There. See how much better it sounds up an octave? That note doesn't, but but you can rewrite your bass sound to fit into the next octave up. That one's a little bit too low. Let me hear what else you got here. Sounds like a pad kind of deal. This one has the bass sound I'm trying to find in your song that you don't really have a lot of. It's that mid, like C1 to C2 kind of range bass in this kind of region here. And this is the only bass I found that has it, but it's kind of drowned with top end. So I'm going to reduce the top end and boost some of your mid and see if we can get some mid out of it. I'm going to compress it too. Yeah. Let's listen to that with the rest of these now. Not sure what this is either. Sounds like very floaty. This one I'm actually going to do the opposite. So I'm going to remove all the bottom and just go for the top and make this like a floater. And then we'll add some reverb. Okay. Cool. Valhalla Room. I don't know if you have Valhalla, but if you don't, it's very cheap. It's only 50 bucks. And then I'm going to do a reverb augmentation with compressor to make it a little bit louder and to catch some of the small nuances of the reverb. Yeah, I don't use FL Studio, unfortunately, for these videos. That's a common request. I'm going to try to bring out a little bit more of that mid-tone. Let's grab an OTT by Xfer and see if we can get anything else out of that mid. I don't want to use 100% depth because OTT gets very out of hand very quickly. I'm going to group these together and then I'm going to side chain them to the kick, and that should be stronger. Actually, first and foremost, I'm actually going to group these together and compress them so we have like a really thick bus, and then we're going to side chain. So let me assign this to the side chain first, like that. And before we do that, I'm going to add in a OTT here to see if we can get some crunch throughout. That's a little too much, yeah. Let's just try a compressor here instead and see if we can get those layers to fit a little bit better together. Maybe like a maximizer. I don't know if you have like a Pro L or like a iZotope Ozone, but I'm gonna use it anyway. Sorry. Yeah, the glitchy stuff's cool. But what I'm saying you need is like an element here. I can even write one in 2 seconds that'll fix your entire song. If you add in a serum or something similar, just to fill out your mid-range. You have no mid in like the C1 to C2 region, in this region. So what I'm going to do is separate it out like this. Let's do like a wide unison, and let's do a filter. And what we'll do is we'll just draw on those notes. I think it starts on a... that, and then what I'm going to do is turn it up and take it down an octave. You know? I don't know your exact melody here. I'm just kind of showing you what octave it needs to be in, and that's the one right there. Might be a little bit too low for like a saw. We can try like a square or something. Yeah. This note doesn't exist. I think it's that. Yeah. Yeah, okay, cool. And then a maximizer is a little too much. But yeah, you just need some like sub in that mid region, and I think this is gonna sound 10 times better. This region here. It's in this one, but only like a little bit. It's only poking through. It's not really... It's not like the focus of the thing, and it really needs that to come out. Yeah, and you have to write the melody there. I don't know. Really, really cool idea. Let's keep going here. Our bass is way too loud compared to everything else, so I'm going to dial that back. The sub's got to go. Like, these three elements should be totally separate channels. This should be your lead. But the little should be its own channel. It shouldn't be grouped with the bass. You should have that on its own serum. Because your top element here should totally have like a reverb or something, but I can't apply it because it's all mixed in with the other bass. You know, like if I was to take in a Valhalla room, you don't have to send in the MIDI. I'm not gonna work on this for too much longer, but obviously only for the breakdown, but I can't separate the top end only because you have it mixed with the bass. So when you get it back, separate that into its own thing. Maybe I'll duplicate this and then do this so that we have two different versions, one for the drop and one for the regular. And then the drop one will have no reverb. You have a few notes in this that are in the wrong key, and I'm not really positive what this is supposed to be. Those little glitchy sounds kind of work, but they happen a little too often. And it's kind of annoying. So take that with a grain of salt. All right, I think we've worked on this one enough. I'm gonna call this a wrap and save that. And I think I'm gonna call this stream a wrap because we've been going over an hour now, almost an hour and a half, and these technical problems are driving me nuts. So the next time I'm going to have a new computer, I think, or if not next time, then the following time after that. If I can afford to make some money to pay for a computer, that is. That's next on my agenda of things to buy. But thank you for watching, guys. If you guys want to send me projects in the next month's Patreon stream, make sure to pledge to me on Patreon. That's patreon.com/JulianGray. If you're a patron and I'm not in the Discord server, make sure to join that so you get notified whenever whenever I'm doing these kind of events and stuff. I announce it in the Patreon. And yes, I send these project files back. But yeah, make sure to join the Discord server so you guys know when I do these sort of events. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're interested in participating next month, make sure to go pledge on Patreon. $10 pledges and above get to access this chat and this stream. So thanks, guys. I will talk to you guys in the next one. And bye-bye. Okay.